darf ich ganz, ganz herzlich begrüßen. Bedanke mich wie immer bei den Podiumsgästen. Thanks, Johannes, for your time. Danke, Ercan, für deine Zeit und dass du nach längerer Zeit auch mal wieder hier bei uns sitzt. Anlass aufgelegt, wir starten ins letzte Spiel der ersten Halbzeit des Finaldurchgangs. Doppel, Teil 1 gegen Hartberg, Rapid-Sektor längst ausverkauft. Und ich werde den Trainer gleich bitten, uns einen kleinen Überblick zu geben, wie die Vorbereitung läuft und Personalsituation ausschaut. Und dann gehen wir zum Erci und dann gerne wie immer zu euren Fragen. Coach, could you just give us some of your thoughts about the next game in Hartburg? The second time you play against this opponent, but the first time away, and how it looks with the squad.
Yeah, first it looks good with the squad. We have players available. We have players coming back from injuries also. So we've had Daniel Luno and Louis Schaub back a little bit with the group this week. Not ready for the game on Sunday, but will hopefully be ready for some of the last games of the season. So that's positive that we have even more options to choose from. Will also be important for this week that we go into with 3 games in 7 days. And I think I can predict already now that none of the lineups in these 3 games will be the same. We have to use the whole squad and everyone who's feeling confident and feeling in a good shape. I expect a tough game, another tight game on Sunday. We know the statistics of Hartberg. We know their defensive shape. We know they don't concede too many goals. We know they can be hard to open up and create chances against. So that's been a focus for us this week. And then besides that, it's the normal stuff for us that is important. The discipline in our pressing, discipline in our defensive stuff, and of course to get a good flow on the ball and get a good tempo in the game. I think tempo will be an important word for us stepping into the game.
Thanks a lot. Erci, darf dich bitten, du hast uns letzten Sonntag viel Freude gemacht mit deinem nächsten wichtigen Tor. Hartberg, ein Gegner, an den du, glaube ich, ganz gute Erinnerungen hast. Letztes Auswärtsspiel, Goldtor, dein allererstes Tor für Rapid. Detto in Hartberg, ein paar Gedanken von dir zum Gegner, aber natürlich auch zu dir selbst, wie es drauf bist und was sich die Mannschaft für Sonntag in der Steiermark vornimmt.
Ja, Hartberg ein Gegner, gegen den ich schon oft gespielt habe und der auch sicher mir ein bisschen liegt, kann ich so sagen, weil ich immer wieder schöne Erinnerungen dort hatte. Mein erstes Tor dort geschossen vor einigen Jahren und ich glaube einfach, dass wir eine gute Woche hatten, gute Sachen trainiert haben und natürlich auch wissen, was Hartberg für Qualitäten hat. Aber ja, wir fokussieren uns auf uns selber und wie gesagt, wir hatten eine gute Woche und probieren jetzt das wichtige Spiel am Sonntag zu gewinnen.
Vielen Dank auch, Ercan, und dann sehr, sehr gerne eure Fragen an die beiden Herren. Christian Reichel für die Krone macht den Anfang.
Ercan Kara, der Mann für spezielle Tore. Wie gefällt dir diese Bezeichnung?
Ja, ich bin Stürmer und mich freut es immer, wenn ich Tore mache und damit meiner Mannschaft helfen kann. Die Mannschaft liegt immer für mich im Fokus. Wichtig ist nicht, wer die Tore macht, sondern dass wir es machen. Und wenn ich gebraucht werde, da bin ich da und das habe ich schon das eine oder andere Mal gezeigt, glaube ich.
Wie siehst du so die Ausgangslage jetzt 6 Runden vor Schluss, die Chancen für Rapid?
Ja, ich finde, alles ist offen. Wir haben 4 Punkte Abstand, aber sind gut dabei, habe ich schon am Wochenende gesagt. Und wir fokussieren uns von Spiel zu Spiel und schauen einfach, dass wir unsere Punkte holen. Und ja, was am Ende rauskommt, werden wir sehen.
Coach, we have Rapid, we have Austria, we have Salzburg, we have Lask and the 5th team, and we have Hartberg in the league. What makes Hartberg so special in your opinion that they are part of the top 6 in the league?
Because they've been consistent for a long time. I think if you just look back from the season started, they have of course picked up many points from that. They've had a good spell after the start of the season, where they've picked up a lot of points, and I think consistency is a big word for them. They have a very clear style of how they play. They have a very clear identity in the team, how they want to approach the games, and it's really rare. They do something different from that, and of course, when you have that in your team, then it also brings confidence. They seem like a team who knows exactly what to do, and then they've been successful with that.
Danke. Darf ich das Mikro zum Alex Uhr weitergeben, bitte?
Coach, like you said, Hartberg is playing a little bit different than the other teams. Did that change your approach of training this week?
I don't think you have changed the approach, but one thing we learned from probably already the Sturm game is we have to find different weapons to create chances. Be a little bit more flexible up front, create chances in different ways. So it's just it's actually just another step that we open up for having some different solutions to the game. So we can change in the game. We can also change in halftime, a little bit later in the game. So we always have answers and solutions to what will happen in the game. So it's not specifically just because of Hartberg, but it's been something that's been ongoing for some weeks now, so we can be even more dangerous up front.
I suppose better decisions in the last third of the playing field would be very important for these two games. How can you train this, and how can you improve these parts of the game?
My thoughts around training is the same. So I have to provide solutions to the players. I have to put them into some positions where they can show what they're best at, find the qualities of the players, and make sure that they can show that as much as possible. Then I think the positive thing is now with more players coming back that we have different opportunities up front. Now we have Erci here next to me as a more classic striker. We can also play with a different kind of striker. We can have different types on the wing as well, where Jussi give us more like a winger who's naturally stepping a little bit more inside and can play closer to a striker behind him, but in that space. And we have Niki and Nossa who's more comfortable on the side, where they can create space and chances. So it's about looking at opportunities and finding the best ones for the right game. And of course also being ready to adapt and change in the games. But like being said, sometimes now I think there's really good quality in the group. The training sessions are on a high level, and also the players that are not starting are doing the best, and that makes me very, very happy and positive.
Like you said, you had more fit players now than in the first weeks.
Yeah.
Does this improve the quality of training just because there are more players fighting for the starting 11?
Yeah, I think it gives more competition in training. As a player, as an individual, you of course have to cope with that, and not stepping into training every week, being sure that you're going to play in the weekend. You have to perform in the training, but I think that only lifts the team, and it only lifts the individual player to his best possible level. I think that's the absolute best way to have your training sessions, that there's constant a competition. And then, like I said, this week, starting from Sunday, will probably be a little bit different, because it's also about having energy and making sure that the players we put on pitch have enough energy for these 3 games in 7 days. But it makes a big difference, because when we started, we didn't have too many options, especially up front. And now there's about to be a lot of options, so it's harder for me to take the decision, but that's what I prefer.
Und eine Frage an den Erci: Du bist sicher der beste Offensivspieler bei Rapid, wenn es hohe Bälle geht. Nur die Anzahl der hohen Bälle ist jetzt durch den neuen Trainer stark gesunken. Wie schwer war es für dich, dich dann doch an den veränderten Spielstil anzupassen und deine Stärken adäquat einzubringen?
Natürlich weiß ich meine Qualitäten in der Luft, aber natürlich will ich Fußball spielen. Die Bälle in der Box, dass die Bälle in die Box kommen, ist natürlich für mich ein Fressen, wie man so sagt. Aber ich finde, dass man auch sehr variieren kann, dass man gut rausspielen kann und auch mal einen Stürmer hat, der groß ist und der präsent ist in der Box, und mal einen anderen Stürmer. Ich glaube, das bringt auch sehr viel Unterschied, wenn man nicht sich auf uns einstellen kann.
Danke, Alex. Bitte, Servan. Peter Linden.
Eine Frage an den Erdschan. War das erste Tor in Hartburg auch noch in der Standardsituation, so wie das letzte?
Ja, das erste Tor, was ich in Hartberg gemacht habe, ich glaube, ich bin in der 81. Minute reingekommen. Flanke vom Schicki, weitergeleitet vom Dibi und ich habe ihn reingehauen, 2-2. Schöne Erinnerungen, war mein erstes Bundesligaspiel. Und ja, wie gesagt, Hartberg ein Gegner, den ich sicher mag.
War in der Nachspielzeit übrigens.
Auch wenn er den Mannschaftsbus beim Strafraum parkt.
Ja, jeder Gegner hat seine Qualitäten. Wir wissen auch die Qualitäten von Hartberg, dass sie im Umschaltspiel sehr gut sind. Wir wissen auch, was sie auch im Gegensatz zur vorigen Saison verändert haben. Wir haben sie gut analysiert und der Trainer hat uns sehr viele Analysen gezeigt, wie sie in verschiedenen Situationen vom Spiel auch das Spiel ansetzen. Und ich glaube, dass wir richtig gut vorbereitet sind auf sie.
Dankeschön. Bitte, wer mag als Nächster? Bitte nur einmal umdrehen zum Thomas Muck.
Erci, dann mache ich bei dir weiter. Du hast gesagt, Hartberg liegt dir. Kannst du das vielleicht präzisieren? Was genau denkst du, liegt dir an denen? Sind es die Gegenspieler? Ist es der Verein? Ist es die Spielweise?
Es ist einfach, ich glaube auch die Erinnerung einfach, weil man halt weiß, dass man dort getroffen hat. Als Stürmer fühlst du das und gehst mit deinem Gefühl hin, dass du weißt, dass du dort erfolgreich warst. Und ich glaube, das habe ich damit gemeint.
Lass uns noch zurückblicken aufs Derby. Es war kein einfaches Tor, was du gemacht hast. Inwieweit beflügelt dich das? Inwieweit gibt es Selbstvertrauen auch für die Trainingswoche?
Extrem. Ich glaube, ein schöneres Gefühl, als im Derby zu treffen, gibt es nicht. Ja, wir haben schon in der Halbzeit mit dem Trainer geredet, dass er gesagt hat, dass ich kommen werde und dass wir das Spiel ein bisschen anders ansetzen werden und dass dann der Ball von Bendy so schön kommt und dass ich ihn dann so treffe. Einfach ein unbeschreibliches Gefühl und da kommen halt schöne Emotionen hoch.
Coach, I also want to ask you about the derby. I ask you a lot and you speak a lot about the development of the team. You speak a lot about the development of the team, how to handle adversity during the game.
Yeah.
What did you learn about the derby? What were the steps in the game? What were the situations that you liked? And where do you personally say, as a group, as a club, we have to make a big step in it?
The obvious difference is that if we take the first couple of games, when I started, we didn't have the same control in the games as we have now. So we probably needed some different types of players because the games were a little bit more open. They were a little bit more back and forth, more transitions in the games, which call for a special type of player. Now we can see in a lot of the games that we have much more control. We have the ball much more. So now it's the next step for us to create the chances when we have the ball so much, and what kind of players do we need to be able to create those chances. That's the learning we have taken from the development of the team, that we now have the control in the games or the most games that we play, and that gave us different scenarios because we now have to open up low-sitting teams a little bit more than we had in the beginning of the season, and that's the reason why we have started to change a little bit, adapt a little bit, and looking for new solutions.
You spoke about the quality of the possessions and of the runs. When I look at the last two games, there was some kind of an inconsistency in it. In the periods where you make a lot of pressure, you feel a lot of directness to the goal, and in the situation where it didn't run that well, I kind of missed it, and the passing quality and the speed of the passes didn't were like in this period where everything was running good. Did you see it the same way?
So the period in the game, last game, or the overall period?
In the last two games especially, when everything was running good,
Yeah.
the pass quality
Yeah.
and the positioning of the players were good, but in the period where it doesn't run that well, there was a drop-off.
Yeah, I agree. And the most precise word about that is momentum. And I think when we have momentum, when we are good, I think we play some good football. But it's probably one of the most important things we took from the derby game the last week was when we lost the momentum. So how do we handle that? What is it we need? And again, I try to provide as many solutions as possible, and especially the best ones. I think there was a time in second half where they were putting us a little bit more under pressure. They had some corner kicks and throw-ins and free kicks 5-6 minutes in a row where it was us defending. And in these moments, we have to be more clear in our decisions. What is it we're going to do with the ball now? Where is it we will bring the ball to? How do we handle these difficult moments? And it probably tells me that there's still some learning in this team and this group of players how to exactly cope with these moments. But it's not easy because you feel the stress from the opponents, the stadium, and everything, and you have to take good decisions when being a little bit stressed. So the only way is to train it and to analyze it and to give solutions to the players, so we can also be a better team when we struggle a little bit and make these moments in the game as few as possible.
I have two more. Sorry.
No, please ask.
Coach, in US sports, there is, for games like this, a common phrase that is called "it's a trap game." Everybody's expecting a clear win, a decisive win, but the opponent has good quality and they are really tough to play. What makes this kind of games for you as a coach that hard?
Because of the team that we're playing against. I don't buy into all this where we have to win or it's an easy game or stuff like that. I said to the players the other day, that's the last thing I want to hear now, is that we start to talk about, okay, it has to be 6 points for us. No, it has to be 3 on Sunday. And then we go on to the next one after that. That's the only thing we focus at. But that's the same focus we have every day and every week. And that's the only focus you have to have if you want to be successful. You cannot think about we need so and so many points the next 3-4 games. No, we can only focus on what's ahead of us. And what we have seen, and you can just ask Sturm from last week, or you can ask some of the other teams, that is not an easy team to play against. It's not an easy team to break down. And questions and opinions like this, it's not in this house. It's not in this building. We have full respect for them. We know exactly what they can do. We know exactly how dangerous, especially in transitions, they are. And we know how difficult they can be to break down and create chances against. So the last thing we do is to not respect the quality of the team, because then we start to be not performing on the level we have to.
Coach, and at the last press conference, you already said that 3 games in 7 days, you will need all of the players, all of the group. The players will hear your message. Did they answer the bell? Did you see something in this week where you say, yeah, it is quite difficult to select the perfect 11 because there are some players that they don't have a lot of playing time. They were on fire and they would love to play?
Yeah, there is definitely. It's not easy at the moment for me to pick the starting lineup. Of course, there's some players you can see over and over again. They are like the core of the team. We have to play with them. But there's also some openings on other positions. What we have to is, in this moment now where there's, 6 games to play, rest of the season, it's also a lot about confidence and energy. So who's performing now, who have the confidence to perform on a good level now, and we have to find that in training. We have to see that in games, and we have to stick to that, because that's a big part of stepping into the final part of the season. But like I said in the beginning, with more and more players coming back, there's more and more competition in training, and there will be some disappointed players when I give them the squad tomorrow. But I will always prefer that instead of the opposite.
Dankeschön. Und bitte nach vorne reichen kannst du am Horst Hötsch. Danke unserem Gast aus Augsburg.
Coach, given that Ercan is the top scorer of Rapid in this season, why do you prefer him coming on as a sub?
Because every game is different, and at the moment we have prioritized some of the other strikers, and it's simple as that. But what I like about Erci is his mindset towards that. He can accept that, okay, my role today is to come on the last 30 minutes and 20 minutes And then, of course, during the week, he's pushing to play even more minutes. And I think we're not sitting here with Erci because of the goal against Austria. We're sitting here because he's been really, really good in training for the last 2, 3, 4 weeks and been pushing more and more. And that's the only thing that matters for me. Because like I said, when I show them the team for Sunday, there will be 8, 9 outfield players, 8 outfield players and a goalkeeper who will be disappointed being on the bench. There will be players not even traveling with the team. They will be disappointed. But if that disappointment, if they bring that into the next training week, then they have absolutely no chance of playing the next game. So we try to, of course, talk as much as possible with the players to give them advice on how to handle this, but also to understand the role. So when it's a game day, you can only focus on your task on that game day. And if you start on the bench, then put your focus on what can I actually come in and contribute with to the team, what can be my role today. And if we start to have that mindset on the bench, then we can be even better.
And now that you know that he's a Hartberg expert, he scored 5 times in 10 games.
That's why he's here.
Is this something that you consider on your starting 11, or?
I think it would be stupid of me not to consider Erci in the starting 11, because what I just said in the previous question is that we also have to bring the players with confidence, the ones that are bringing confidence to themselves, but also to the group, and are performing on a good level here now. So definitely he's in the mix, and will be for the next 3 games. He will not play 90 minutes in all of them. We have to select the right minutes for him and the right moments for him. But yeah, it's about momentum and it's about confidence, and the players that are performing in that area at the moment, they should be playing as much as possible.
Talking about performance, if we look back at the derby, there was one situation with Unterstützt that you were unhappy with, and everybody of Rapid fans were as well. Does this that he didn't go to the ball, but just waiting and then not really following his opponent player? Is this something that has consequences? Did you talk about this situation with him, or?
Yeah, I don't know exactly what situation, because if you look at me, I'm probably more unhappy than happy when the game is on, and that's a part of my emotions also sometimes to control that, and I'm also affected sometimes what happens on the pitch. But what we do is that we always highlight these special moments in games where a player is running back for 70-80 meters in full sprint to support a teammate, when the players are doing the blocks on the line or a sliding tackle to prevent a goal, all these situations, because it takes a little bit extra, and it takes the mentality also to be able to do it. So I always prefer to show them the good examples instead of the not so good.
Okay, I have 2 more questions. Also, looking to the next season already, do you have the Rapid players who are on loan in your mind? Are you watching them, or is this a business of Meki Katza, or how do you handle this?
No, we are watching them. So also the rest of the coaching staff are watching them. We are in contact with them, so we know exactly what they're doing and their roles in the team and stuff like that. And you will also see some of them that will, of course, obviously they will go back to the team and join the team in preseason to find out who have taken the steps that they needed, so they can be closer to the team here in Rapid.
But
so
you're not telling us who will be coming back, or?
100% no. But my guess is you will also be here after summer, so I can invite you for some of the sessions and then enjoy the sunshine and see who's back.
Berkeley is good at second balls.
Yeah, but there's many. I think that's a good part. We also, on the opposite side, we also now discussing who in the team that we could benefit from sending out on loan after summer, so we can see that they can get closer to the team. So I think we have an obligation to always be in contact with our players, because they're still our players when they're out there on loan. So it's important for us in both ways.
And the last question, I'm sure you heard of the discussion about increasing the league number of teams. From your opinion as a coach, would this be a downward leveling of the league, or how do you see it?
I think I cannot say too much about that because if someone is discussing that, I think it's above my pay grade probably, and above the areas of expertise that I have. So I think it's for other people. I have absolutely no idea what we earn in TV money or what we earn in whatever money. And also to be fair, I don't know the second league level well enough to say if it will benefit the Austrian football to have more teams or less teams. The only second league games I've seen is with our second team. So it will be a unprecise answer for me and not an expert talking. So I prefer the experts talking.
Die Clubs haben sich ja geeinigt, dass sie das jetzt öffentlich nicht kommentieren, aber ich glaube, es kann sich jeder ungefähr vorstellen. Ich glaube, es kann sich jeder ungefähr vorstellen. Bitte, gibt's von... Bitte, gehen wir vielleicht das Mikrofon.
Hartberg hat den größten Tormann der Liga.
Ja.
2,5 Meter, ist der größer als du?
Ja, der ist größer als ich. 2,5 Meter bin ich keine. Der ist sicher größer als ich. Ein guter Tormann ist er auch.
Und macht es das Ganze schwerer, so einen großen Tormann, der auf Flanken rauskommt?
Ja, er hat sicher seine Qualitäten, aber ja, für mich macht es keinen Unterschied.
Danke. Thomas, du hast eine Abschlussfrage? Bitte.
Coach, you talked about the second game. You're watching the games of the second team. Do you have players on your radar where you say they are candidates, that I bring them up for the preseason camp to watch them closely?
Yeah, we are, and we are also starting having meetings with second team coaches and academy coaches, so we can align even more. So in the future, the first team and the second team and academy teams will play even more the same way. So we prepare the players even better for the first team football. I think it's a part of being a club that we are, and also a part of making fans proud of supporting this club is that we can bring young players up from our second teams and from our academy. I think it's a big tradition in the club, and we should definitely continue with that. And if you ask me, we should do even more, and that's also up to me, because eventually I'm taking the decisions to open the door for more young players. But they are interesting players, and I think they're doing well, and I think they play some good games. What I like about the league for our young players is that they get tested every week on a good level with a little bit of pressure. There's fans and expectations around the games, so it's a really good step for them to prepare for the first team. But yeah, I'm trying to watch every home game they play, so I have a good understanding of who's ready, and we will definitely bring some of them for the preseason training camp.
And the follow-up question on this would be, what are you looking in a young player in particular? Are you looking in the learning curve? Are you looking how they develop in certain aspect of the games, how they develop mentally?
I'm mostly looking at skills. Do they have any top skills that can be useful on first team level? Because I think that's important when you're talking about young players. A top skill can also be their mentality. That's also a top skill for a player. So I'm looking a lot about that. So what is it they are really, really good at, and what is it we can develop even more on the first team? And then of course when we then bring them into the training sessions and the first team training environment, we find out about their mentality. Can they cope with defending this guy instead of one from the second league? With all due respect, how does he take those steps? And that's something we have to see when we invite them in for trainings.
Dankeschön. Zweite Mannschaft heute übrigens um 18 Uhr in Lustenau. Ein bisschen zu weit zum Hinfahren.
Yeah, I'm not going to that one. That will be online streaming.
Genau. Und abschließend dann nach dem Sonntag die nächste Woche, bekanntlich englische Woche, mit Heimspielen am Mittwoch wieder Hartberg 18:30 Uhr und Salzburg dann am Sonntag um 14:30 Uhr. Dienstag sehen wir uns gerne wieder hier um 13 Uhr mit dem Trainer. Und noch eine Frage? Selbstverständlich. Bitte schön, der nette Kollege aus Augsburg, Germany.
You're too fast today.
No.
From Germany, yes. Greetings from Germany. Eine Frage an den Herrn Kara, und zwar, wenn Sie Bayern gegen Madrid gesehen haben unter der Woche, dann hat man, glaube ich, gesehen, dass Bayern einfach den unfassbaren Willen hatte, das Spiel wirklich zu gewinnen. und da maximal zu investieren. Wie schafft es der Coach bei Ihnen, dass die Stimmung in der Mannschaft gut bleibt und dass dieser absolute Wille einfach da ist, bis zum Ende durchzuziehen?
Ich glaube natürlich, dass jeder Spieler den Willen hat, weil er spielen will, und da muss er halt performen unter der Woche. Ich glaube generell, dass wir in der Mannschaft ein richtig gutes Klima haben, und sogar die Spieler, die auch wenig Einsatzzeit bekommen, das sieht man im Training, dass die immer 100% geben, und ich glaube, ja, mit Einsatzminuten kann man einen Spieler motivieren und natürlich auch sicher mit persönlichen Gesprächen, und ja, so wie ich das gesehen habe und auch mitbekommen habe, macht das der Trainer mit den Jungs. Und ja, ich glaube, wir sind da sehr motiviert, was auch die Ansprachen vor dem Spiel angeht. Ja.
Habe ich sonst noch jemand übersehen, was noch eine Frage gibt? Dann danke fürs Interesse. Thanks, Coach. Danke, Erci. Vorverkauf für die Heimspiele läuft. Knapp 20.000 Karten gegen Salzburg weg, über 15.000 gegen Hartberg. Gibt noch genügend. Dankeschön.